Welcome back, students. This is a special video strictly for the online classes because you need a little bit of extra support. So for the special project, you need to go on the discussion boards. It's one of the menu items at the top of a Blackboard, and you will see my post there inviting you to tell me what country do you want to work on. So all of you should, as soon as possible, pick a major country to work on. Small countries and countries with any kind of conflict or war usually have their records, cannot afford to maintain records, or their records get blown up by bombs and so forth. So they usually are missing a lot of data. You can't really do them because there's no numbers maintained on the World Bank database. So I'm going to give you an overview of the special project so you have some idea what you're doing. But it's very important for you to go on the discussion boards, reach out, say, I'm doing country X, and would anybody like to join me? And then people can ask to join your team, and you can obviously say yes or no. I would say yes if I were you. And then what's going to have to happen is one of the three people on each team is going to have to compile the PowerPoint presentation, which just means doing a cover page and adding the three PowerPoint slides together. Okay, this has to be uploaded as a special project submission on the very last module that will open up by the due date, which is May 7th. So don't be late. In general, you need to have a team all work in the same country. Each of you will do one graph for that country, and there's lots of videos there, step by step, how to make the graphs. So let's look at it. Here's a sample cover page. If you're smart, you will just download this Team Iceland PowerPoint and fill in the blanks, okay? Just replace it with your information. Now, in general, I've made these titles too big in the past. So in general, the title should be smaller. And this will give you the opportunity to move everything up, as I'm doing right now, and make your graph much larger so it's easier for your professor to see, okay? And everything in here should also be bolded and at least size 11 font. Or size, this is size 14, this is size 11. So you will be taught in various videos how to make this graph. And you should your Y number and your R squared number should be over 15%. This is 83%, this is 79%. And if you have any problems or any issues, you can email me your Excel file, and I can tell you what you did wrong. Frequently, students don't follow instructions well, and then that means they mess up, and they will have errors. So I go over this already in the regular videos, so I don't need to go over this. It needs to look like this. And this is a comparison of savings, for example, versus GDP. Another student can do a comparison. Again, resize this. Another student can do a comparison of, what did I do here? Exports, merchandise exports versus GDP, for example. These are sample student names. Obviously, I'm joking because these people are previous presidents or future presidents, who knows. And don't forget to make your titles in bold and a good size font. And what you're doing is you're comparing some cause of GDP to GDP itself. And what is the relationship between them? So here's a good relationship. The more you go to the right with savings, the more you go up with GDP. And in fact, for every dollar of savings, you put one here where the X is, $1 of the X savings. For every dollar of savings, you multiply by 0.83, and a 0.83 times $1 will give you $83 of 83 cents of GDP. So that's how this works. And the R squared is the reliability. But remember, this is the relationship here, is 83%. This is just the reliability telling you how many dots are near the line. The line is the average of all these dots. Each dot is a year with some amount of, here, for example, 40% of X, which is savings, and about, 48% on the left of GDP. So each dot is a year where you're going to compare two columns, two numbers. Now, this graph is easy to do on Excel, but it has a lot of steps, so you have to watch the videos. You will give some explanation. Again, this is an example only. Let's suppose that money grows on trees, because I'm not going to give you the answer. So I made up a ridiculous theory, which is not in the book, because you need to put in the real theories. So here's some ridiculous theories here. You need to explain why will savings help GDP logically, according to what you've learned in class. And then you have 3 graphs or equations that you need to copy in from the text or from the Blackboard notes, even better. Just explain back to me how I explained to you, how does each of these things improve GDP? The entire class has been about economic growth or GDP growth, or how different things contribute to GDP. The whole class has been about that. And if you've been paying attention, there's tons and tons and tons of graphs and a few equations, like here I call this the quantity theory of trees. And they've all been explained to you. So at this point, all I need you to do is explain back to me what you've learned to justify what is happening in a real world example. So these 3 students did Iceland, and this one did savings, this one did exports, this one did something else like money, capital, interest rates, whatever you've been taught, foreign exchange rates, whatever you've been taught affects GDP. So you can use this format here, Abe Lincoln's format, and do the job. Okay, but first you need to reach out on discussion boards, answer my post, reply to all, and find 2 teammates. That being said, that's the end of this video.